Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night. And we begin tonight with concern at the White House this evening for one of the president's military valets who has tested positive for coronavirus. And of course, the next question, how much contact did he have with the president? Was he wearing a mask? That valet, we have learned, often serving the president meals and Diet Cokes in the Oval Office. The White House says the president and vice president have been tested again, and the results were negative. And across the country tonight, the new job numbers, another 3.2 million Americans filing for unemployment, more than 33 million jobs lost since this began. And tonight, as we do every night here, the numbers, the American lives lost, the death toll now rising above 75,000, nearly 3,000 more lives lost since yesterday. 1.2 million confirmed cases. President Trump responding today to news of his military valet coming down with the virus, someone who works in the West Wing, what he said when asked, is this scary? And the president also saying he'd actually had, quote, very little contact with the valet. The president reiterating today what he told me this week in Phoenix, that it is time for parts of this country to open up. 39 states have already eased restrictions, even as cases continue to rise in 19 of those states. And tonight, with those new unemployment numbers, the lines at food banks across this country, parents struggling to feed their children. We have new reporting on that condition believed to be connected to the virus now being seen in children. We have just learned of new cases in Boston and in L.A. tonight, and this all comes after New York authorities warned parents to be on the lookout. One family speaking out here tonight after their 8-year-old son went into cardiac arrest, a brother performing CPR. There are a lot of fast-moving developments tonight. We're going to begin with the first case of the virus in the West Wing, that military valet who often serves the president. Our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, leading us off tonight.
A coronavirus scare for the president. For the first time, somebody who has been with him in the Oval Office has tested positive.
Did it spook him? Yeah, it's a little bit strange, but it's one of those things.
It's one of the president's personal valets who tested positive, a military service member on the team that serves his lunch and Diet Cokes in the Oval Office.
I've had very little personal contact with this gentleman. Know who he is, good person, but I've had very little contact.
But the president revealed he is now going to be tested for coronavirus every day.
No matter what you do, testing is not a perfect art. So we test once a week. Now we're going to go testing once a day.
While there will be testing every day at the White House, testing capacity for the rest of the country is still short of where most experts say it needs to be for people to get back to work safely. Just yesterday, the White House press secretary dismissed the idea of making tests available for all.
So the notion that everyone needs to be tested is just simply nonsensical. The people who need to be tested are vulnerable populations.
Today, the president was asked if he is concerned that many states are moving forward with plans to partially reopen, even though they have not met the White House's guidelines for reopening.
We give leeway to the governors, and these are governors that have done a good job. We rely on them, we trust them, and hopefully they're making the right decisions.
The president met today with the governor of Texas, who is reopening his state, even though the number of cases there are on the rise.
We created these surge forces that will go out to regions where there are flare-ups. It's like putting out a fire.
As the president urges states to reopen, the CDC has prepared a draft roadmap to help restaurants, schools, churches, and others to do it safely. But today we learned the White House has rejected that draft. A senior official telling ABC News it is, quote, unnecessary and duplicative.
All right, so let's bring in John Karl. He's with us live in Washington tonight. And John, the president told me this week in Phoenix that this is an invisible enemy. It's tough. And he said to me that it could happen to me. The president was very clear that he knew of the dangers of this virus. You reported there he's now tested negative. But of course, immediate questions, John. The president was asked today whether his valet wore a mask when they were together.
And the president said that his valets do wear masks. But I've got to tell you, David, I have been in and out of the White House regularly throughout this crisis, and I have almost never seen any member of the White House staff wearing a mask in the West Wing.
All right, John Karl with us from Washington. John, thank you as always.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.